Hello everyone, welcome to the revision series of class 10 maths. Today I would be taking up AP and GP. Alright, AP I've already done before, but that was kind of a rushed one. Okay, so AP is a series where the difference between any two consecutive terms is a constant. So for AP, the series is A plus D, A plus 2D, and so on. The difference is constant. Nth term of AP would be A plus N minus 1 into D. And the sum of n terms is n by 2. This is just a recap. You already know all these. N by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. It can also be written as a plus l, where l is the last term. All right. Now, here sum of n. Yeah, if three terms are in AP, then b minus a will be equal to c minus b. If you simplify, you get 2b is a plus c. Or if three terms are in AP, then the middle term is a plus c by 2. Okay. Then what else is here? Okay. So if since I'm talking of middle term, let me just see if the number of terms is even, then what happens? And if the number of terms is odd, then what happens? So suppose odd number of terms are there, say 5, then there is a middle term, right? To this side, to that side. That means if there are 5 terms, then the middle term is the third one. How do we get that? 5 plus 1 by 2. So similarly, if there are odd number of terms, then the middle term is the n by n plus 1 by 2th term, right? The middle term will be n plus 1 by 2th term. This is the middle term. And if the number of terms is even, then what happens? Number of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then there is no middle term. Then the two middle terms are taken as middle terms of the series. And this would be, suppose there are 6. So 3 and 4. How do we get 3? 6 by 2. So if there are even number of numbers, then n plus 1, n by 2, not n plus 1, n by 2, that is 6 by 2 as we saw here, n by 2th term, and the next term, which is n by 2 plus 1th term. Correct? So if you have even number of numbers, then just divide it by 2, that term and the next term. If there are odd number of numbers, add 1 and divide by 2, that will give you the middle term. Now to find nth term from the end, what do we do? So suppose a plus d, a plus 2d, and so on. The last term is l. Question says find the 15th term from the end. Okay, in these questions, what you do, just write the whole series in the reverse order. L, do not bother to know what this term would be. Let it be. Okay, just write this down. A plus 2d, a plus d, and a. Once you write it like this, your the first term is L. Fine. And the common difference will be this minus this. Okay, just go to the last two terms. Last term minus the preceding term, a minus a plus d. When you open the bracket, you get minus d, right? So if you're asked to find some term from the end, what you do, write the whole series in the reverse order. Okay, then go to the last two terms. In the last two terms, last term minus the preceding term. That will give you the, as always, we take the next term minus the preceding term. That will give the difference. Okay, and then usual thing, use the formulas. Fine. Now, if you're asked in a question, if you're asked, there are three terms in AP, or like 52 is divided into three terms, three numbers, such that these numbers are in AP. In such questions, if three terms are asked, what we do, we take the middle term as A, the previous as A minus D, and the next as A plus D. Fine. Here the common difference is D. Okay. So if there are odd number of numbers, there is a middle term. Let that be A, add D, subtract, common difference D. But if there are even number of numbers, say 4, then we don't have a middle term. So first write the middle two terms, A minus D, A plus D. If you subtract them, you'll see the difference is 2D. So the next would be adding 2D here, next would be 3D, subtracting 2D, next would be, right? So here the difference is 2D. Just remember these. So if the number of numbers is odd, difference is D, middle term is A. If number of numbers is even, there are no middle terms. So the two middle terms are this and the difference is 2D. So hence if it is for 5, A, A plus D, A plus 2D, and this side subtract. Got it? So if the question says there are three terms in AP, and then whatever conditions and all, so take the numbers like this. Four terms in AP, take the numbers like this. Okay, remember odd difference 1, even difference 2D. Write the middle two terms and then the other terms. Fine. Now let's come to GP. So in AP, the difference was constant. In GP, the ratio is constant, right? So first, that means the numbers are multiplied by the same number. AR square, and so on. Nth term is ARN minus 1. Fine. And sum of n terms is AR to the power n minus 1 upon R minus 1. This is when R is greater than 1. Sn would be A 1 minus R to the power n upon 1 minus R. This when R is less than 1. So what happens when R is 1? When R is 1, the first term is A, then A into 1 is A, then A, then A, 2 n terms, right? 2 n terms. Hence the sum of n terms, A plus A plus A, n times A. Clear? These are the sums of, okay, here if the last term is given and sum is asked and all, so what we do in the same thing, Sn is, take this, a, open the bracket, minus A upon R minus 1. This AR to the power n, last term was given, okay, suppose first and last terms are given, or we want to express it in terms of L. So what we do, AR to the power n can be written as minus 1 into R, right? Powers can be added, minus A upon R minus 1. So this is LR minus A upon R minus 1. Fine. So here AR to the power n, from there just remove R and you get L. Got it? Even for this, same thing. Here if three terms are in AP, three terms are in GP, say A, B, C are in GP, then the ratio is common. Hence, B square is equal to AC, or B is root AC. That's the relation between the three. Like in AP, it was B is equal to A plus C by 2. This is for AP, right? The relation between three terms ABC in AP is this, and three terms in GP. The middle term is root of first and third. Got it? Okay, what else? If you're asked, like three terms are in GP and some question follows, how do we take? Like in AP, we took A minus D, A plus D. Here, what do we do? If three terms are in AP, middle term you take as A, next term is AR, and the previous is A upon R, common ratio R, right? We're multiplying by R. This when odd number of terms are there. So 3, the middle term is AR, A upon R. If there are 4 terms, then that is even number of terms, then there is no middle term. So what we do is, we take the two middle terms as A by R and AR. Okay, A by R and AR. So here you can see the common ratio is how much? How do we get AR from A by R? Multiply by R square. Okay, so the ratio is R square. Hence the previous term would be A upon R cube and the next would be AR cube. Just like there was A minus 3D, A plus 3D. Here A upon R cube, AR cube. And for 5 again this will come be the same thing, 5 terms. Okay, so for even ratio is R square, for odd ratio is R, and we write the middle two terms A by R, AR, and then since R square you can figure out. Got it? I think that's all in the theory portion. Do I have to say something else? No. Let us go back to okay, let's go to the questions now. Which term of AP, which term of AP, it's in AP, 15, 30, 45 and so on, which term is 300? Find the term, the number. So AN is given. In these questions also write the data first. A is 15, B is 30 minus 15 which is 15 and AN is given to be 300. Write the data and then apply formula. So A, what is that? A plus n minus 1, no? Nth term. So A plus n minus n is the unknown and D is also 15. This is given to be 300. 15 common, 1 plus n minus 1 is 300. So that becomes 300. This cancelled and we get n is 20. Got it? And then they have asked find the sum of those terms. These are 20 now. So sum of those terms, S20. N by 2, 2a plus or a plus L, let us do first term plus last term, a plus L, correct? So this becomes 10 and so the answer is 315. See, it became easier now. Instead of putting a plus n minus 1 times d, a plus L, you got the answer. Second question says the sum of first three terms of an AP is 42. Sum of first three terms of an AP is 42. So S3 is 42 and the product of the first term and say third term. Product of first term and third term is given to be 52. Now this here they are talking of only two terms. So we'll take those three terms, four terms, that the sequence like that, right? So let the terms be three terms. So a plus t and a minus t. Sum of three terms is 42. Add them. This is 42. D gets cancelled. 3a is 42. So a is 14. We got a. To find D, use this, right? So a1 into a3 is 52. A minus t into a plus d is 52. A square minus d square. Uh, what is a square? 14 square minus d square is 52. So 196 minus d square is 52. D square becomes 52 minus d square. 52 minus 196 which is minus 144. This gets cancelled. D is plus or minus 12. Fine. So take D as plus 12 once. Whenever x square is some number, x can be plus or minus. Because minus 12 square is 144. 12 square is also 144. But if you are finding just root of 144, that is only 12. You're finding root of 144, it is only 12. But if you say x square is 144, then x can be plus or minus 12. So once we get D, then what was asked? That is all. Find the first term and the common difference. So that. Next question. The sum of first three terms of GP. Now here also, if they are talking of only three terms, we'll take the ones we had already discussed about. The sum of first three terms of the GP, first three terms is 16, and the sum of next three terms. So they're not talking about the same three terms, so we cannot take those. So our terms have to be like this. Okay, six terms. Sum of first three terms is 16, and the sum of next three terms is 128. So a plus a next 16 terms, next three terms is 128. So a plus ar square, this is 16. A common, 1 plus r square is 16. Leave it like that. In GP questions, it always helps to divide terms. Here, AR cube plus AR power 4 plus AR power 5, this is 128. Common AR cube, 1 plus R square is 128. So, this is the second equation, right? Now, dividing first by second. So, left hand side by left hand side is right hand side by right hand side. Let us do that. 1 plus r square upon ar cube, 1 plus r square. This is 16 by 128. A cancelled, the whole bracket gets cancelled, and we are left with 1 by r cube. This side 16, 8 6 are 48, so 8. So 1 by r cube is 1 by 8. R becomes 2. Here we cannot take plus minus 2 because minus 2 cube will be minus 8, right? So r is 2. We got r. Now to find a, we can use this to find a. A will be how much? A from here, a 1 plus 2 plus 4 is 16. So a is 16 over 7, right? R is 2, a is this. After that, whatever they are. Find the sum of n terms is asked. Find the sum of n terms. So to find the sum of n terms, just apply formula and plug in numbers. Sum of n terms, r is greater than 1. So a, r to the power n minus 1 upon r minus 1. A is 16 by 7. R is 2 minus 1 upon 2 minus 1, which is 1. Hence the answer is 16 by 7, 2 to the power n minus 1. Okay, so in GP questions, divide the terms or the sum and all, whatever is given. Next, there's a question. Find the GP whose third term is 8. Third term is 8 and the seventh term is 128 by 625. As I said, we'll just divide these. For third term means AR square, seventh term means AR power 6. 8 divided by 128 upon 625. Denominator of the denominator goes to numerator. Okay, then 8 ones are 8, 6 are 48. Here cancel, here power 4. So 1 by r to the power 4 is 625 by 16. This is 5 by 2 to the power 4. Again, as for square, same thing for power 4. Plus and minus both would satisfy. So r, it will be inverse of this, right? R would be plus or minus 2 by 5. Okay, and then a can be found from here. Then you can what is asked, find the GP. So find the series. You can find a and find the series. Okay, next question says the mth, no, if m times, this is in AP, m times the mth term is equal to n times the nth term. You are asked to find m plus nth term. Now, if you can figure out, m plus nth term would be what? A plus n minus 1. Instead of n, we have m plus n. Minus 1 times t. This is the m plus nth term. This is asked. Okay. Now, let us take the conditions given. M times mth term. A plus m minus 1 into d is n times a plus n minus 1 into d. Open the bracket, simplify. Ma plus m square d minus md. Bring them all to this side after multiplying. Na plus n square d minus nd. So when I bring them to this side, ma, I can arrange so that I can take common, right? Straight away, let me arrange. Ma minus na plus m square d minus n square d minus md plus nd. I've written m terms first, n later. So like this. Take common. A m minus n plus from here d common m square minus n square. Here minus d common m minus n because minus outside, right? Now all the three terms have m minus n. Oh, I rubbed off that nth term, m plus nth term. That was asked. So anyway, so all the three terms have m minus n with them. So that can be taken out. So let us take m minus n out. What remains? From the first term, a remains plus from this term m minus m square minus n square is m plus n into m minus n. M minus n has gone out, so what remains? M plus n remains, and from here minus d only, right? This is equal to 0. M and n are two different numbers, so this cannot be 0. Hence, the other bracket is 0. Let us just write them as in the form we need, taking d common. M plus n minus 1 d. This is 0. A plus n minus 1 times d, that is the a m plus nth term. That is 0. One last question. How many three-digit numbers are divisible by 7? How many three-digit numbers are divisible by 7? So let us see. Three-digit smallest is 100, right? 100 is not divisible by 7. So which is the first number? Divide it. 7. This is a number smaller than 100. So 7 into 14 is not a three digit number. The next digit is a three digit number. That means 7 into 15. This is the first term. All right. Let us see the last term. 999. Divide by 7. 7, 29. 4s are 28. 19. 7 2s are 14. Okay, so 5 remains. So 5 less should be divisible. So the last term is 994 and D is 7. N is asked. Okay, so A plus N minus 1 into D. This is how much? 994. A is 105. N minus 1. D is 7. Take 7 common. Plus N minus 1. Is 994, right? So 15 minus 1, 14 plus n is 994 divided by 7, we know will be 142. So n is 142 minus 14, that will give you the answer. Okay, so I think I have covered quite a few variety of questions and hope that is helpful. Okay, keep preparing for your exam. All the best. Thank you.